humble service. Jason Black, glad to be with you all again here this evening. Brief update I need to give you all here. Make sure we get things, a little housekeeping needs to be done. A little tidying up needs to be done here. A couple of announcements I want to make. We're going to be doing Get Your Weight Up Wednesday. Get your weight up. So for all of you who are members of my Patreon, it's time. So tomorrow, I'm looking at doing it around noon time. So more people to join us. Earlier today seems to work for some folks better. So I want to do it tomorrow around noon time. So you've been waiting to speak to me. You are a member of the Patreon. You've been waiting to get not just game, but to get the business directly from the source. All these other imitators, fakers, and phonies have been screwing up, messing up, while they're trying to rip off everything they did. We want to get from the source. We will be doing that here tomorrow. Looking at doing that around noon time. So if you are a member of the Patreon, it's time. It's time to get your weight up. So be ready to contact us. The Six Figure Women's Club. I am still hard at work on that as well, so have a little bit of patience. The Six Figure Women's Club is coming, and if you are a woman who makes six figures or more, verified, and you want to give your insights on the men, the social conditions, or whatever, where you are, your perspective on how things are. So you hear from the guys a lot in that regard, but I want to open it up for the women to be able to do that. So women here, remember, our program actually talks to real women. That not faking and post. We actually speak to the real thing. So if you want your opportunity to speak about that, the fellas have had theirs. I'm willing to let ladies weigh in for theirs. So you can go ahead and email me at handlethebusiness@yahoo.com. That is handlethebusiness@yahoo.com. You can go ahead and give us that. You can go ahead and contact me for that. And I'll be glad to speak with you. I'll be glad to speak with you about that. So just be aware about that. Now, what we're going to do here, I want to also wait. Well, I want to don't miss one more thing. I am going to be hitting the road. I'm coming to a city, maybe not near you. Going to be hitting the road. Just understand that. So I'm going to be going to different places here, probably a couple of them, and we're going to be looking at different things here, and I've named some cities. I put up a poll where I asked about where people thought I should go to, and people have been giving their responses. And I've taken your feedback into account. And because of that, we're going to have an opportunity to address those things. I'm not going to say exactly where, not just yet. Not going to say where just yet. But do be aware that you're going to be seeing more of that. You're going to be seeing more of that. So be looking for that. Wherever the folks want me to go there, that's where we're going to be going. So be looking for that. Also, if my mods keep screwing up, I may have some new openings for some mods. I got a couple of ADHD people I've been working with here. So ADHD is strong sometimes. Might have an opportunity for some more. I've had to cover some things. So just in case the ADHD is too strong, some of my backups may be required for that. We'll see how that goes. On tonight's program here, I wanted to discuss, we started last week, we're talking about whether black men deserve respect and what have black men done to be worthy of respect. And that's what we talked about last week. But we didn't talk about, this week, I want to go ahead and talk about something else. I wanted to ask if the black women respect? Are they worthy of respect? Boy, man, there's some things we need to address, ladies, and we ain't pulling no punches tonight. There's some things that need to be addressed. So, without further ado, we are going to get into it here. And by the way, this is by no means a comprehensive list at all. Not at all. By any means. But these are the things I think are most major, but by no means is this comprehensive. Number one reason, I'm just going to be honest with you, just tell you, are black women today worthy of respect? No. No, I'm not going to pull any punches about it. Let's just get down to brass tacks. The answer is no. They are not. Why is that? First reason up here is really the core reason. Black women as a group today, not worthy of respect. And the reason that they're not worthy of respect today is because they don't respect other black women. Probably the number one rule is that. That's probably the number one rule. Is they are not respecting other black women. That is the rule that they have. The rule that they have is that they don't support each other, and you cannot expect black men to see you differently than you display and see yourselves and comport yourselves to each other. The number one group who undermine black women or other black women, they have this veneer of the sisterhood, but let's just be very, very clear. The sisterhood of failure only supports you in failure. The sisterhood of failure evaporates and abandons you as soon as you are no longer failing. As soon as you are no longer failing. Once you're succeeding, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem. If the only time you can get support is when you are struggling, failing, when you've done dumb things, they get together and support each other when they're baby mamas. They don't support each other when they're wives. They don't encourage each other to win. Because black women don't respect other black women. Black men are the ones who speak about Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Ida B. Wells, Mary McLeod Bethune, Coretta Scott King, Betty Shabazz, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. We're the ones who speak about these black female luminaries of history with respect. The youngest of black males speak about them with reverence. Young black females have disdain. When we talk about these African icons, young black females have disdain. They have disdain for them. You don't hear we as black males having this complete animosity for them simply because they're female. We go all the way back. It's not black men who have a problem with black women's hair. We want a black woman who looks like a black woman. It is black women who have contempt for black womanhood. Thus, they want the hair to be something else. They want the face to be something else, the complexion to be something else, the nails to be something else. They want everything to be something else because they are bothered and they are completely uncomfortable, and I will say it, black women have contempt black womanhood. They have contempt for being a black woman. They don't like it. They do not like it at all. So much so to the point that when black men say these things, the women start arguing with us. Nah, y'all want a woman who wears weaves. Then you ask them, who are you talking about? Show me. Who are you referring to? And then when they do actually name somebody, it's like, oh, wait a minute, that's the kind of guy that you claim you don't even like. You're not talking about your doctors, lawyers, business owners, high IQs, high income. You're not talking about any of them. You're not talking about them. They go right to the males who are failures. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Hang tight. We're going to get to them creating the very male. They are the factories that create the very males they claim that they don't like and don't have any regard for. They are the factories that create that. Don't worry. We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. But let's just be very, very clear. It is black women who check other black women. It's black women who check other black women. They check each other. If you come across too black, if you come across as too good, black womanhood that is slutty, black women today circle the wagons. Black womanhood that is weak, black women circle the wagons. This is why black women will go, they would rather go and fist fight Koreans in their hair stores. They would rather fist fight Asians, get arrested, get hate crime charges. They will line up and do that rather than spend money with another black woman. They would rather go and fist fight the Asians. Literally. They would literally rather go and get into a knockdown, drag out, get arrested, get assaulted, get killed than to risk seeing another black female. You know why? Because it doesn't offend them to see an Asian making money off of black women. That doesn't offend them. They're not offended seeing an Asian buy a big house off of black women's money. They don't have a problem with that. They don't have a problem with that. But if they see another black female, now understand something, I'm not talking about celebrities. See, the celebrities, that's where they bow down. They start bowing down real low and scraping the floor. So the average black female ass kisses celebrities, especially if they got an immigrant background, if they're mixed. So the mommy gene, the mammy gene is very strong. Just call it. Not gonna pull no punches. The mammy gene is very strong. I gotta be honest. But if another black female locally, a female that you can go meet and walk up to, rather than sit there and get the game from her, or worse, to cooperate, I wish you would be a female giving instructions to another female. Mic drop. Have you ever tried to go talk to any black woman who has been a manager at her job with nothing but other black women? No men, can't blame it on the men, holding nobody back. Ain't no need to environment. No men there to mess up the estrogen, the feminine energy. How many of you listening right now, you are hiring managers, you are managers, you are supervisors, and you got other black females who work under you. Is there a sisterhood there? Do they fall in line? You tell me, you call me out on that and say, Jason, you wrong. Wow, we work together just fine. Never had a problem. You tell me, if it's nothing but a bunch of other black women, they got your back or they put knives in it. You tell me, what are you living like every day when you attempt to instruct or exert authority over other black females? As a black woman, if you are in a leadership position somewhere, if you try that, what happens? You all know what the hell happens. Anywhere from Popeye's chicken to the boardroom of General Electric. You try, as a black woman, you try exerting authority over other black females and see what they do. Now, white mommy, there's a video of a white principal in Florida, I think, handling the hell out of this little immigrant child. Oh, folks bow down to white mommy. They'll bow down to white folks. But if you're a black female, other black women will not show you the same level of deference. They'll make it very, very clear. Heifer, you can't tell me a damn thing. They will immediately run up on you, immediately get in your face, immediately start swinging on you. What is the number one excuse that we hear from black women as far as why they don't check other black women? Because they are afraid that other black women will assault you and hit you and physically fight you. They are afraid of being physically assaulted. That is the number one excuse that we hear. I can't tell, Jason, I can't say to other black women, I can't do what you talk about. Well, why not? Man, these hoes will run up on you. They'll start swinging on you. That's the excuse that black women give us all the time. I can't say anything to other black women. They'll whoop my ass. They will physically swing on me. Not black men. Not black men. Not black men. Black women as a group. Black women do not have respect for other black women. They don't have respect for each other historically. They don't have respect for each other contemporaneously. They don't have enough respect for each other economically. They don't have respect for each other academically. Black women carry contempt and disdain for other black women. That is the first reason that black women today are not worthy of respect. Tough love, tough love. But if we cannot, the only way we're going to fix the problem is by facing the problem. The first thing we are going to do is face the problem. And we are going to call it for what it is. Black women do not have respect for black women. They pretend to have each other's back, but only if you're failing and messing up. They don't have each other's back for that. As soon as it looks like you actually are not suffering anymore, they will take your man, they'll take your house, they'll take your job, they may even take your life. That's how black women do other black women. As a group. Number two, black women do not respect black men, yet they want to make demands of the very men that they don't respect. A black man who is intelligent, principled, cultured, upstanding, black women have outright animosity and disgust for him. Most black women today of dating age are baby mamas. Then you go take a look at their baby daddies. Is the baby daddy today, is the typical baby daddy the best and brightest, is the most ambitious? Hell no, he has his children in months or even years. And that is who Black women prefer. And they don't make demands of him. The majority of Black men are not baby daddies. So after most of these women have screwed themselves up, what do? They go take a look for the guy who they passed over all this time, and then they want to go make demands of him. Well, yes, I didn't make any demands of Pookie, Ray Ray, Mike, Lil Slug, or whoever else. I didn't make any demands. Oh, but you, yeah. I got demands for you. I want you to do that. I want you to fill in those gaps. Take a look at her baby daddy, and then go take a look at the guy she's trying to be with today. When she was a clean slate and at the peak of her desirability, when she could choose whatever she wanted, just understand, Black women today prefer someone that they don't respect. Ultimately don't respect. But not before they disrespect the men that they will claim later that they want to be with. Not before that. They want to make it very, very clear. They want to make it very, very clear. They want to make it very, very clear where they stand on that. They want you to understand that we are not going to sit here and let you get away with it if we can avoid it. They want to tell the men that they're supposed to get something for nothing. No, you have to get something for something. There's a constant argument, and remember, it's from the men that actually have something to give or whatever. Those are the ones they want to make demands of. They don't establish respect, they just want it to be given to them, no matter what their condition or what their behavior. And even when you spell it out for them, it's a problem. Now, when white men walk up, oh hell. When white men walk up, then all of a sudden, then there's a different issue. When white men walk up, then all of a sudden they are Susie Homemaker. When white men walk up or non-black men walk up, all of a sudden they are Susie Homemaker. All of a sudden, all those things they claimed as unreasonable for black men, the white men at their job, I have them on the damn meat floor scrubbing the grout in between the tiles with their tongues. And they will sit there and gladly do so. But the black man that they will go home to pays their bills, and all of a sudden they got smack to talk to him. Used to be a time that they were not like that, and they had a lot fewer complaints. Understand that. And that actually goes into my third point. Well, actually goes into all of them. It's all comes here, but black women have adopted a culture of selling everyone else out, including themselves. Now, this one here is a real issue. This one, to be totally honest with you right here, and I've said this in years past, is that of all the things that have occurred, this one is probably going to be the one that is going to most plague black women, because long after everything else is taken care of, long after everything else is taken care of, this is going to be the same thing here that lingers. Men will forget a lot. Children will forget a lot. But they will not forget the fact that as a group, I have to just tell the truth here. As a group, Black women, starting back in the 50s, decided that they would side with white society against everyone else, including each other. And this is a sad, sad truth that we have to understand here. This is a sad, sad truth. But we are going to have to face that reality. It is an embarrassing one. It's a humiliating one. But we have to face that, just like the civil rights generation. Just like with the civil rights generation as a group sold out their own children so that they can have interracial sexual access because they value that above and beyond everything else. They value that above and beyond everything else. Black women today as a group have adopted a culture of selling everyone out because the selfishness is being valued more than anyone else. And that goes into the next point here, which is that Black women have become comfortable with failure. I could go on for hours about this one, but I won't do so. Because everyone already understands. Everyone already understands. Black women as a group are not winning at anything. They're very good for tearing down others, but Black women as a group don't even specialize in inspiring greatness. You can only find one or two Black females way apart somewhere, but that is not the average Black female. The average Black female is either failing or helping someone else to fail. And that's where they are today. And not only that, they have become comfortable with their status of failure. They are not uncomfortable with failure. They're comfortable with it. Which is why the men that they primarily choose today, ladies, we got to tell the truth. The males that Black women today prefer, if they are given their own choices, they choose guys who give them thrills or who cater to their bloated ego, but they do not demand excellence or greatness of the man. They just simply demand that he sit there and cater to them and slobber over them and bow down and kiss up to their bloated ego. But they don't demand greatness until they've suffered for years and years, train wrecked their lives, destroyed everything, and then say, damn it, I need somebody to rescue me. And here's the problem with that, ladies. Here's the problem with the fact that Black women are comfortable with failure. The problem with that is that men are competitive. We are competitive by nature, and because of that, men don't want to fail. A man is competitive by his very nature. It is in our biology that we do not wish to fail. We don't want to fail. So if we have a woman around, she needs to make us feel like a winner. Notice I didn't say she had to win anything. She needs to make us feel like a winner. She can at least do that. Black women, there's no one anywhere in America or the world who considers black women to be the example of womanhood that inspires a man to succeed. They run around saying, oh, well, behind every great man, okay, but these females cannot show you where they would make themselves great. Not even that. Ladies, you need to be able to win at something. A man doesn't, a failure of a woman doesn't make a man feel like a winner. And it doesn't make him want to be a winner. As a woman, you need to be winning at something. Today, the majority of black women are overweight and obese. It's not winning. The majority of black women are in crushing amounts of debt. That's not winning. Most black women of dating age are bastard baby-making single mamas. That's not winning. There's nothing about that that makes a man say, damn, that's exactly what I'm looking for. When you say the words winner, that's just another way of saying that's exactly what I'm looking for. Understand that. In the chat room, Solo Traveler will be required to call in when the phone lines open up. He's not invited to call in, he's required. So D put his information to the side. When the phone lines open up, he'll have 2 minutes to call in, or he can get removed, whichever. Perfectly fine by me. Perfectly fine by me. Usually what happens when women are not doing well, the females around them will help them to get their act together. That's what usually happens. But that's not what happens among black women. Among black women, when they are overweight and unhealthy, they get fat acceptance. When they've got bad hair, they get somebody to take them to the weave store. When they're a baby mama, they get somebody to tell them, well, at least you ain't got 5 kids, you only got 4. When they get STD, they get somebody to say, well, at least it ain't AIDS. And if it's AIDS, well, don't they have a pill of AIDS? You have a bunch of females today in their 40s and 50s, unmarried and unmarriageable. And instead of getting correction from their sisters, acting as a team who helps everybody to step their game up, you instead get a support system indulging in failure. To the point that black women criticize other black women for looking like black women. I got to tell the truth tonight. Black women choose males who are failures, and furthermore, they have become experts at cultivating males who are failures. Take a look at the average son of the average single mother. 75% of black boys today are raised by single moms. Take a look at what they do to them. They turn their sons into the degenerates that they had children by. Take a look at them. They don't demand that the son be different. Now, she hates the baby daddy, but only because he didn't want to stick with her and left her in the lurch. Now, she doesn't hate what he was. Understand that. Baby mamas don't hate what the guy is. She hates that he abandoned her and left her in the lurch. She doesn't hate what he is. She just hates that he left her hanging. But if he had sat there and kept indulging her, everything everything would have been fine. See, there's a difference between growing up and learning your lesson and, well, I just don't have the option of indulging anymore. I must tell the truth about this. I must tell the truth. They infantilize their boys because an infantilized boy will never let go of his mammy. And a woman who is unmarried, and most black women today are unmarried, a woman who is unmarried still needs a male to be her protector and provider. And when you take a look at the NBA and all the sons of the single mothers there, do those women treat their sons like their sons, or do they treat them like surrogate husbands with the complete and total expectation that her son should be her provider and not the other way around? Am I making that up? Am I making that one up? Am I? Am I making that up? Okay. Just checking. Just checking. Black women will get together in large groups to go freaknik, hang out at the beach, get slutted out. You can't find two of them. They'll walk together in big-ass groups to go to the club, to chase degeneracy, to chase lowlives. But you can't find two of them in the gym together. Now that one, we have yet to see the bicep challenge. We've seen the ice bucket challenge, the pop your thing challenge, the baby mama challenge. We've seen everything but the calorie deficit challenge. Now we ain't seen that one. We haven't seen the 30 minutes of cardio challenge. That one ain't come up yet. We still waiting. That one hasn't come up yet. Nothing there. Waiting on that one to show up. That, for some strange reason, that challenge never took off. Not really sure why. That one never got off the ground. Haven't seen the size 10 or less. I didn't even say size 8. Size 10 or less challenge. That one, we're still waiting on that one to get legs. Still waiting on it. That one hasn't come up yet. Still haven't seen that one here show up here and take prominence. Haven't seen that one. And you don't see a bunch of black women holding each other to that. You don't see them get together to make that occur. You know why? Because they look at each other and what they said is, well, she looks a raggedy mess and so do I. So she doesn't have a better chance of doing anything or getting anything than I do. Black women love to see other black women failing. They love to see their children fail until they are economically destitute, and then they want their children to suddenly become a success. How many black women, young black females listening to me right now, your mother you have college horror stories. How many of the black females listening to me right now, you've got college horror stories. That you got accepted to college and your mother got upset about that. Your mama sent you to graduation in tears because you started having the potential for a better life than her. How many of the young black females right now, you got stories like that about your mothers? Your mothers that seeing you do well and seeing you progress and seeing you excel actually made your mother resentful. Now, when you were failing or when it looked like you were just going to be mediocre, she was okay with that. But as soon as you took off, all of a sudden, she starts becoming spiteful and undermining. How many of you who've been to these HBCUs and UAKs and skiwee and every damn thing else, and your mama sat up here and got salty when you started making progress? How many of you are going to be honest enough tonight to tell that story? I'm not here to down you. I am here to speak the truth that you haven't had the courage to do so. Maybe if you hear somebody have that courage, you will break this vicious cycle of evil. Maybe you will. Maybe you will. But it's going to take a lot of courage. Lastly, and this one is difficult for all of us to deal with, particularly as Black men. Black women have embraced delusion and coping mechanisms in a desperate attempt to avoid reality. Ladies, the reason that most men are not interested in leading Black women today is because Black women have become so comfortable failing that when a man attempts to lead them, they immediately resort to delusion and coping mechanisms. A man wants concrete reality, but the women are bringing us delusions and coping mechanisms. How many times have you all seen me have some chick who gets up here and tells me, Jason, I'm a size 12. She is at least a size 16. How many times have you seen a female slip and tell you that she's a 10 when she's clearly a 6? How many times have you had females slip here and tell you that she's only 180 pounds when she's tipping the scales at 240, 250? Hell, we've had females sit up here and tell you that they don't have children. Think about that for a few moments. We've had women sit up here and tell you that they don't have children. Don't have children. Think about that for just a few moments. They deliberately respond to you with delusion. When we talk about you're too fat and unattractive, you just like them sprouty. You got a size 16, a chick talking about she's a size 16 stripper. She can't make $2. Black men say, go and get your real damn hair done. I'm protecting it. Yes, you're protecting it from vitamins, minerals, nutrients, and growth. You want your handbags to be immaculate, but the woman carrying the handbag looks like a walking landfill. You're upset because the designers don't make sexy clothes in a size 18 or 20. And rather than accept that you are failing, you instead respond to them with your coping mechanisms. And they turn coping mechanisms and delusion into a virtue. They are not running towards reality. They have embraced delusion and are now demanding that everyone else should avoid reality too, except for the men. Now, the men don't get to avoid reality. If a man's not producing, he doesn't get to say, well, I really am producing. No, she's going to demand that he accept reality. We live in a world of concrete objective truths. Black women as a group today have cultivated a group practice of delusions and coping mechanisms as standard operating procedure in dealing with Black men. They talk to us like we are stupid and crazy. Ladies, do you all understand how much of what you say to us today is an insult to our intelligence, and you're deliberately doing so? We're not all like that. White women do it too. What's wrong with my size? Ain't nothing wrong with my size. I'm still healthy. not according to your heart disease, your diabetes, and your high blood pressure. You are a wreck on the inside. One of the biggest delusions that Black women have is that they want a man who is above average. But rather than making themselves an above average female, they told themselves, well, I can bid my price up if I just work on my career, or which you all don't have careers, work on my employment. And if I get my income up, well, that is what will make me more attractive to a man of a higher income. So if I can make 60,000, that will make me eligible for a man who makes 100,000. And thus I won't have to lose the weight. How many of y'all been a TD